Hi guys, welcome back. This is Dandelion Song, and this is going to be part 17 of the short series, and I think I have already lost count. But I'll put it in the playlist, and hopefully it'll all come out in the end. This would be part 7 of the long series, and we are going to, I think this video is covering the 25th. So I hope you enjoy it, and I will talk to you soon. 7 of the Pope's visit. I was looking around. The Simpsons have a lot of inner code, so I was just taking a look to see what they had about the Pope. I didn't look very deeply, but apparently, according to Russia Today, the Simpsons are Catholic, so that's something to keep in mind. On the 25th, the Pope is going to be meeting with world leaders at the United Nations at 8:30 in the morning. It's interesting how the gematria of this comes full circle in the English gematria. And we do see there are 255, which we have seen this 55 again and again and again. This shares Jewish gematria with fallen angels. Akhenaten. This is the American pharaoh, Akhenaten. Holy 4 police. Diamonds. So in the course of doing these parts that I've been doing, someone wrote a Wikipedia page. So now there's a Pope Francis's visit to the United States Wikipedia page, and that's really nice because it has all these links right in it. So following the link to the United Nations building, we just scroll down and see, just a lot of people don't realize this, that it really is Rockefeller connected. And this is just an understatement. But this is something that we need to keep in mind when we're looking at everything that has to do with the Vatican, including that the Nicene Council wrote and edited the Bible, and then later it was also edited by Freemasons for the King James Version. And I'm going to come to, that's going to be a point that we're going to come to when we look at the main headquarters of the UN. So we need to bring the UN main headquarters on Mount Hermon into the discussion, because Mount Hermon is the place where the first Anunnaki supposedly fell. They were alternately known by different names. One of them was Simjazi, was the leader of the Away mission, but he was not the person who started the fall. In this article, this probably isn't the best article, but in this article on Before It's News, this writer talks about the connection between the ancient fall of the Nephilim in the Bible on Mount Hermon, and the summit is now occupied by a UN headquarters. This is also the place where Jesus came in the region of Caesarea Philippi, Mount Hermon, and asked his disciples, saying, "Who do men say that I am?" Okay, I won't read the whole thing, but this is where he says, "Upon this rock." Actually, oh my gosh, they don't show it here. So they have the 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th, but not the 18th scripture. Here, I have it for you. So Jesus, which was a bait and switch name from Yahshua in the Hebrew Bible, then when the Nicene Council changed it to the Greek, Greek god Zeus, and they changed this name to Jesus. Nowhere in the Hebrew version is there anything close to Jesus or Jesus. So they completely changed the name, and I'm not saying that everything in the Bible is wrong, attributed to. So I can't remember if I mentioned this, but look at the phi, the 1618 in Matthew, and that this scripture says, "Upon this rock I will build my church." And I've also done a gematria decode of the word Matthew, and I just want you to look at the symbolism, since we know that it looks like, from what we have studied, they actually worship phi and pi and the golden mean. Then when they build their rock upon this church, they are not kidding. Plus, I've also done a decode of the word church. If this is your first video with me and you're a Christian, this might be a little psychologically disturbing for you to realize the lies that have been given to the common people. I just invite you to not be mad at me and just take a deep breath and follow along. I was also raised Christian, and so I had a turbulent path to coming to my own awakenings and understanding this code and learning to think for myself. And so please don't leave any angry comments, and just ride along with us and learn these concepts as we go. Jesus or Joshua, but it's heavily distorted. And anyway, what they did is they had, why would they have Joshua build, he says, and look at this, look at these numbers. It's the phi number. And I showed you Matthew. Matthew has to do with the blue apple and Bergoglio. And it also has to do with 9:23, actually. So, but here in Matthew, with the phi scripture 1618, he says, upon this rock I will build my church, and the gates of hell will not overpower it. Well, why did he choose Mount Hermon, where that was the fall of the Anunnaki or the Pleiadian angels when they decided to breed with the daughters of men? So there's a video here about the UN facility on Nephilim ground, and here's the video. So we also need to realize that this is also known as Baal God. All of these names having to do with Pan, actually, and it's located 25 miles north of the Sea of Galilee. And there is a grotto of Pan here. Now, Pan is the proto, I guess, you know, anything that's not Jesuit or Vatican, they say is pagan. So since the Vatican vilifies everything pagan, we do have to try to retain a sense of equanimity when we're looking at pagan religion. But Rome did integrate all of these religions into kind of a central theology. So just read this part. Moses wrote that the sons of God saw, these are the Nephilim, these are the Anunnaki, and possibly the fallen Pleiadian. I think there's some fallen Pleiadian and some not fallen Pleiadian. Saw the daughters of men that they were fair, and they took them wives of all they chose. They were giants in the earth in those days, and after that the sons of God came in unto the daughters of men, and they bare children to them, and became mighty men, which were of old men of renown. So this is, of course, whenever you read the Bible or a scripture, you have to realize that you are reading what they want you to read. So you have to realize the spin that's being put on this. Because, so since this is the UN headquarters, UN is such an important idea that if you go back to World War I and World War II and you study those deeply, you will see that the objective of World War I and even the presidents and leaders during that time were working on a UN at that time, and they actually used the drama of those wars to create the UN. UN equals 35 when you add the U and the N together, which is another all-seeing eye symbol. All right, so it might be going a little fast if this is your first video with me, that the UN being 35 is an all-seeing eye symbol. Well, the I, EYE, also adds to 35, and there are tons and tons and tons, as you know, eye symbology in our world, and so we need to start connecting the dots. And I have connected some of those dots, and I have found that 35, wherever we find it, even encoded with other letters in our language, does refer to the eye or to the eye cosmology, the toroidal field of our world. We have also been lied to about the shape and cosmology of our world, so we do need to, I guess, just calm down and take a look at what we might have been lied to about. All right, well, this is going to be the end of this part. We'll come back and learn more about the UN in the next part. I hope you like this video. See you in the next one. Talk to you soon.